Hi, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. I'm D'Anthony Miles, and our show today is called Angel's Door. And our show is about entrepreneurs. We try to get them funding. It's a crowdfunding show. And we try to present entrepreneurs here that have interesting businesses that you'll be interested in investing. And we also have experts that will ask them some questions. And that's basically our show. You want to join us today and have some fun. This is Angel's Door, and I'm the host, D'Anthony Miles. And I'll introduce our experts for the show. We got our illustrious Dr. Jeff Ryans. He's the marketing guru of the experts. And tell us about yourself, Dr. Jeff.
Thank you, Dr. Miles. My name is Dr. Jeffrey Ryans. I'm a business owner here in Atlanta, Georgia. I own a company called First Choice Accident Injury Care. We are an umbrella for 153 injury centers and 15 A-rated personal injury law firms. I've been in business and marketing for the past 25 years, and I'm excited to be here today on Angel's Door. Thank you.
All righty, thank you. Dr. Adrian, yes. Thank you for being an expert. Tell us about yourself.
I am Dr. Adrian. I am a psychotherapist in the Atlanta area. I've been in business for 28 years. I'm the owner of Changemakers LLC and A Change for All 2, which is my nonprofit organization. And I am also a radio personality. And I host Relationship Talk with Dr. Adrian on WAOK 1380 News and Talk Radio. And I am excited to be here because I believe in supporting entrepreneurship.
All righty. And we got our new kid on the block. We're going to put him to work. Mr. Joaquin Thompson, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing excellent,
Tell us about why you're here and why we brought you in as an expert.
Sure, great. My name is Joaquin Thompson Sr. I'm an entrepreneur, business owner, and my primary focus is in financial literacy. Work right now in the mortgage industry, really trying to help entrepreneurs and individuals that are not entrepreneurs to get into housing. I'm very excited to be a part of the show today and offer my expertise.
All righty, thank you. Now you heard from the experts, so we can't lose. So we're bringing our first entrepreneur and our first small business, and we'll be right back. This is Angel's Door, and thank you for joining us. Okay, here's the fun part. We bring our first entrepreneur, and this is Regé Hall, and she has a business that she wants to tell you about, and I want to bring her on the show. Regé?
Hello.
How are you, young lady?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
All righty. Do you have a business?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I want you to tell our audience about your business. I'm going to get out of the way, and we'll have our experts ask you some questions. And how long have you been in business?
Absolutely. So we are the Cactus Beauty Bar. We are a family-owned business with a niche in skincare, self-care. We sell holistic products such as shea butter, body butters, scrubs, everything, again, in the self-care realm. We've been in business for about 2 years now. So we got started in November, right before the pandemic, and we've been rocking ever since.
All right. So the experts, I want you to tell the audience about your business and how you got in the game, and I'm going to get out of your way.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
Welcome, Regé.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Thank you. The Cactus Beauty Bar. I'm always interested in how did you come up with the name Cactus Beauty Bar?
Yes, so it's actually a play off of an actual cactus. We use a cactus to represent our skin. So cactuses are very prickly, they're very, pokey, and, our skin oftentimes can be very, very dry and very, very brittle. So we want to just kind of play off that and bring it over to skincare. So we named it the Cactus Beauty Bar in a way to kind of relate the cactus being back to our skin because it is a skincare business.
Okay, thank you so much.
So you mentioned that this is a family-owned
Yes, it is.
Business.
Yes,
and
it
so you are here representing a family as an individual. So tell us about the rest of the family members who are not here.
Yes, absolutely. So the company was started by my mother, and my father and my mother do a lot of the labor and work behind the Cactus Beauty Bar. Myself, I am the daughter of the family. I am the marketer. And then there is also my brother who is a part of the family as well, and he helps out with the business as well.
Okay.
So when we look at the Cactus Beauty Bar,
Yes.
tell us a little bit about your competition.
Yes, so we have many competitors. We are located in Atlanta, so we have many competitors. When we go out to different events, we are oftentimes not the only brand who sells body butters or sells soap. So there are many people who do those same things as us. However, what sets us apart is that we have a more holistic approach to skincare and to wellness and to self-care. So all of our products are paraben-free. They don't have any dyes. They don't have any fragrances. And we also have a very strong focus on like the health of the skin. So people in the African American community and also anyone with skin in general oftentimes suffers from eczema, acne, dry skin. And so our products really help combat that.
So, and you mentioned your target, well, let me ask you a question. Your target market would be who?
So we don't have a specific target market per se.
Mm-hmm.
Most of our clients and most of our loyal customers are African American and they are of all ages. However, we do have customers who are not just African American. We have customers from a wider range because we consider ourselves to be a very inclusive business and we don't want to single out anybody.
Right, okay. And you mentioned you're located in Atlanta. Is that a retail store or you mainly online or both? Or
Yes, so we do online and we also do wholesale. And we today opened our soap studio. So the place where we kind of create all of our products, we also kind of sell our products out of there as well. And that's located in the West End of Atlanta.
okay. And before I forget, if you would mention your website so people would know how to find
Yes,
you.
so you can find us on Etsy, but you can also find us at thecactusbeautybar.com.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. What type of marketing went into, what type of research went into the development of your product? Because I know that there are a lot of companies out here who are selling shea butters and body scrubs and, you know.
Absolutely. So my mother, so let me actually go back. So it actually helps with the backstory of our company. Us as a family used to live in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, and the conditions over there were very, very brittle and very, very dry. And so from there, my mother started creating these shea butter products to kind of help with our skin. She did very, very extensive research on different types of natural products and natural things that come from the earth that we could use on our skin to kind of make it better and help for the dry and brittle skin that we oftentimes experience. So there was extensive research that went into it. We actually went as far as planting our own herbs and our own materials at our homes to use into our products. So everything is all natural. Everything comes from the earth to put back on our skin.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Now we're looking to raise some funds to support your business. So that additional capital that you may raise through investing, what would you use that capital for in your business?
Absolutely. So capital is one of the biggest things that we need. We need that for industrial equipment, raw supplies, things to kind of just continue to keep our business growing because the capital that we raise from the Cactus Beauty Bar in itself oftentimes goes straight back into it. So we are just in need of that as well as using it for our marketing materials, using it to boost on Google and Facebook and Etsy so that we're seen and more visible in the market.
Now, is your family manufacturing the goods?
Yes.
Okay.
So with us being a family business, us as a family are oftentimes the one in the soap studio creating the products. And then we also have family friends who come and help us out often as well.
Okay. And your current customer base, if I was to draw a pie chart right now, what would that look like in terms of male versus female percentage of sales, so to speak?
I would say a lot of our clientele are women. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes they're women with families, women with children who want, for their children or their families to be holistically healthy with their skin as well. We do have a very large following of men as well, but I would say that majority of our clients are women because, men oftentimes aren't as interested in keeping up with their skin and making sure that they have the best products on their skin.
We need to be.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we aspire to teach and help and educate those who don't understand the importance of using the best products on your skin versus other competitors who may not use things completely natural.
Okay. Thank you.
Who would you say is your biggest competitor? Because, you know, as I alluded to earlier, there are a lot of people out here who are making shea butters and soaps, and especially as African Americans, you got a lot of people cooking it up in the kitchen.
Absolutely.
So who would you say is you all's greatest competitor?
Absolutely. So again, there are, just like you said, a lot of people who make their own shea butters and their own materials. But I would say our biggest competitors are those big name competitors such as Olay and Dove and St. Ives, because they're the ones who are in the retail stores, and they are the ones who most people kind of just geared toward when they're in those stores, because they're easy to grab. You see them there, and you know it's easy to use on the skin. But oftentimes people don't understand that those products aren't 100% natural. They're not made with the same love and effort that we put into our products. So I would most definitely say that those bigger retail names, those bigger household names that you see in the retail stores will be our biggest competitors.
How long would you say that it takes from start to finish to produce your products?
Yes, so body butter is actually fairly easy to whip up. We do offer a couple of different scents. So just kind of as our scents come in and they're requested, we make them off that. But a soap takes approximately a month from start to finish. So you curate the soap and you mix it all together, and then it has to actually curate in the soap containers before we take them out, cut them, and package them.
Okay. And Brigitte, you mentioned that it's a family-owned business,
Yes.
but tell us a little bit about who's working the business full-time.
All of us are working the business full time. So my mother, she is the woman in charge. She's the one who's delegating tasks and doing more so the business side. My father is the one who is creating the soaps and creating the body butters and creating the scrubs and creating the candles. And then myself, I am the marketing. I'm all things marketing, all things branding. And then my brother picks up on those miscellaneous tasks. And then again, we also have those family and friends who come in and help us with packaging and packing orders, delivering orders, taking them to the post office and things of that nature. So everyone is all hands on deck always.
Okay.
Well, Brigitte, we certainly appreciate the time. We're going to take a little break. When we come back, we learned a lot about the business and what you're doing with the business. When we come back, we'll ask a few more questions in regard to what you will do with the actual funding or what funding that you need. And we'll get into those tougher questions when we come back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Angel's Door with Dr. D. Anthony Miles is an exciting, hip, and fresh reality television show.
Hi, welcome to Angel's Door. I'm D. Anthony Miles, your host, executive producer.
The one-hour weekly television show focuses on audience crowdfunding for thriving new businesses that need funding. The show is made of businesses that need capital and funding.
I don't know about hard, but thorough.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
I'm excited to be here and just talk all things marketing.
Entrepreneurs present their business on the show, then compete for funding. The crowdfunding is provided by investors that watch Angel's Door with Dr. D. Anthony Miles. Tune in weekly to Angel's Door with Dr. D. Anthony Miles.
The break, Dr. Jeff told you that when we came back, we wanted to know, what are you asking the viewers for and what are the plans for the fund? So we want to know, how much money are you talking about and what is the plan for the money?
Absolutely. So we are asking for $100,000. We need that money for, again, industrial materials, supplies, raw materials, and to also expand our wholesale business. We were fortunate enough to go from a 500 square foot space to a 5,000 square foot space, but we ultimately would like to expand into a warehouse to be able to continue to grow and expand our business.
Thank you. Great. Let me jump in here and ask this question. As far as your future plans, are you looking to possibly go into any of the major retail stores, or
Yes.
tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, so I'll go into our 1-year plan and then I'll go into kind of our 5-year plan. So in the next year, we again hope to expand our wholesale business. We actually wholesale to a couple of spas in the Atlanta area, selling shea butter and scrubs to them as a wholesale. And we also hope to get into some mom and pop shops around the Atlanta area and also just across the country as well. And in the next 5 years, we hope to be in some of those major retail stores like Target and Whole Foods, where they sell those natural and holistic products.
Thank you.
And Brichet, for individuals that are considering investing in your company, what would be the reason that they would want to invest in your company?
Absolutely. So I always like to say that when you get our products in our hands, they absolutely speak for themselves off rip. And we also want to kind of change the trajectory of the skincare business, because it is a $1 billion business, but we want people to know that you don't always have to use generic brand products to utilize on your skin, and there are much better alternatives to creating that skin barrier and to making sure that your skin is healthy and happy.
Let's talk about the price.
Yes.
Because typically, what sets you apart from your competitors is going to be the cost basis and what it is you all do versus what they do. So what's the average cost of your products?
Yes. So our body butters go for $10 each, and they are in 8-ounce jar. And then we also sell an 8-ounce handcrafted soap, which again we make ourselves. Those retail for about $6 to $7, and then we have bundle deals where you can get 5 bars of soap for $25. Our scrubs retail for about $8, and then candles range anywhere from $15 to $20 as well.
You mentioned the business started 2 years ago.
Yes.
Family-owned business.
Yes.
What person in the family, was it your mother that had the idea and sold everybody on the idea? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, absolutely. It's a very, very interesting story. So again, it started way back in 2013 with our family living over in Abu Dhabi. My mom used to make shea butter for all of the people who were kind of around, all family and friends, and they actually suggested that she start selling them and actually making a profit. Moving on further to 2019, our family actually experienced a very, very tragic event, which caused my father to lose all of his income. And so that really just catapulted my father, my mother, and just the whole family into the family business, because from there we kind of really wanted to have something for ourselves and not have to always rely on others to have income for the family.
Mm-hmm.
And you represent your business, your family business quite well. Tell me a little bit about your background. You mentioned you do the marketing.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about your background.
So I have been working in marketing for about 3 years now. My background is in social media management and branding. So I do all of the branding that you see with the Cactus Beauty Bar. I do all of the social media that you see with the Cactus Beauty Bar. If you go to the Instagram page, you will see all the graphics, all of the product photography, just everything that is on there that you see is everything that I do as well. And then I'm oftentimes at things like this, selling the business and selling the brand because of my bubbly personality.
That's right.
So, that's basically my background and what I do.
And I'm sorry.
Go on.
I'm just interested because of your background. Is that something you studied in school, or tell us who you went to school?
Yes. Yes. So I went to Tennessee State University, and my degree is actually in TV and film production. But toward the end of my tenure as a college student, I decided to go toward more of the digital marketing scope, because I've always been very, very passionate about social media and about marketing. And I wanted to find a way to make capital for myself and what I do. And so that's kind of what led me to there. I've worked in advertising for an advertising agency, and then I've also worked as in-house coordinators for big name businesses as well.
Okay. I knew something had to be in that background.
As someone who was raised by an entrepreneur in a small town, I never returned home to the small town, but I've always, been within 2 to 3 hours away, so that I kind of know what's going on with the businesses. And, my father has several. So where do you see yourself in terms of your future and what Brichet wants to do in relation to your family's business?
That's a great question. As the Cactus Beauty Bar expands, well, I'll first and foremost say that I'm born and raised in Atlanta, so I do hope to stay in Atlanta for a couple of years. I don't see myself settling in Atlanta, actually. I don't know where I'll end up, but I don't see myself settling. As far as the Cactus Beauty Bar goes, because everyone in the immediate family has has built this company brick by brick. I hope to stay very, very involved in the marketing. However, I do hope that as it expands, I could be a little bit less hands off on that business and just kind of focusing on other marketing and business endeavors that I have for myself. But the Cactus Beauty Bar, I always say, has given me my very first chance. They've given me the opportunity to build my portfolio and what I'm able to do. And so I'll forever be grateful to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And Brigette, you mentioned about the retail cost of your different products. Can you share with us what it is, where you are as far as cost of production? Like, what does it cost to produce each one of those items?
Yes. So bulk raw products are what takes up the most of our production. And so we buy bulk products for we spend about $300 to $800 a month just on shea butter in itself. And so including that, we have other ingredients in our body butter that I won't disclose because it's a secret.
That's right.
That also add on to that value. And then plus the manual labor that it takes to whip the body butter, to put the body butter in the jars, to wipe the body butter clean, and to put the labeling on there. That cost adds up. But we also wanted to make sure that it was still an affordable product because a lot of other smaller skincare businesses do kind of charge. We feel like they overcharge for, the production value that they put into it.
Yeah.
Now, as far as someone ordering products from you online,
Yes.
what's your turnaround time? If someone was to order a product on Saturday, when could they expect that to do?
Yeah, so if you order a product on Saturday, 9 times out of 10, your product is in the mail by Tuesday or Wednesday. We try to keep a very quick turnaround time because customer retention, customer appreciation is very, very important to us. So that's if you order from our Etsy site. And then again, we also offer where you could come into our soap studio directly and order it and pick up from us so that, those are for people who kind of don't want to wait in the mail.
Okay. Well, I think you've told us about your 5-year plan. Have you all had the discussion? Because you said that you don't see yourself necessarily settling in Atlanta. So do you think that there is a possibility of expanding this beyond just online sales and big box stores and maybe expanding it to some other cities?
Yes, absolutely. We will never limit ourselves. The sky's the limit. And, we follow in the footsteps of what God has for us. So we will never limit ourselves to Atlanta. Of course, we would love to become a household name and to become a name where people, when they automatically hear us, they know that they're great products and they can go in anywhere to grab them.
Okay.
Share with us one more time for the viewers your business name and your website and how they can find you.
Yes, so we are the Cactus Beauty Bar. You can find us at thecactusbeautybar.com or on Instagram and Facebook at the Cactus Beauty Bar.
Well, we appreciate you being here and sharing your family's vision. You represented your family well.
Thank you.
Very proud of you.
Angel's Door with Dr. D. Anthony Miles is an exciting, hip, and fresh reality television show.
Hi, welcome to Angel's Door. I'm D. Anthony Miles, your host, executive producer.
The 1-hour weekly television show focuses on audience crowdfunding for thriving new businesses that need funding. The show is made of businesses that need capital and funding.
I don't know about hard, but thorough.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
So I'm excited to be here and just talk all things marketing.
Entrepreneurs present their business on the show, then compete for funding. The crowdfunding is provided by investors that watch Angel's Door with Dr. D. Anthony Miles. Tune in weekly to Angel's Door with Dr. D. Anthony Miles.
I'm back. Welcome to Angel's Door. And this is a fun part of the show where we get the insights from the experts and what they thought of the business. We have the Cactus Beauty Bar, and we're going to talk about what they thought about the business. We're going to defer to our experts right now. Dr. Jeff, let's have it.
Thank you, Dr. D. First, when I look at a business owner or a family business, a business owner, I look at who's behind the scenes of that business. And Rashay represents her family business quite well. Mm-hmm. It's almost like you want to do business with this person even before you know what the business is, mm-hmm. because of her personality and her intellect and all those things. Then when we got into talking about the business, the Cactus Beauty Bar, I was very impressed with the knowledge of the business. She spoke well in regards to the marketing of the business, the manufacturing of the business, where the business is right now, where the business wants, what their 5-year plan is. And so it's all green lights for me. I'm actually going to go on and look at the site myself and see what I could do to.
That's a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
See what you can do to order. That's right. That's right.
Because I think we hit the nail on the head.
Like the business.
Yeah, I like the business, and a lot of men, we want to look good, but we don't take the time that we need to take, or at least I can speak for myself, to focus on the largest, really the largest organ of our body, which is the skin. So I was quite impressed with Brochet and the business.
All right. Did you see any things that you were concerned about or downside?
With any business, especially with when you're trying to grow, funding is, and of course, that's the reason why we're here. You've got people, you got the drivers. They just need some fuel. They need the funds. There's nothing worse than having something that you see the vision, but you just need help. You're not looking for a handout, you're looking for a hand up. Absolutely. And that's what we hope to bring to Brochet and the Cactus Beauty Bar today. So
Awesome. Dr. Adrian, you're feeling this one a lot. So tell us about what your insights on this.
Yeah, well, I do believe that Brigette represented her family extremely well. Very proud of her. And it's interesting that Dr. Jeff would use as an example fuel and driving, because what I was thinking about is in terms of this $100,000 figure, whether or not they have anticipated that costs are for everything are going up. And so as we are in the middle of a gas crisis, in terms of shipping and postage, all of that is going to probably increase as well. And so what I would encourage them to do is to look at that $100,000 figure to make sure that they are asking for enough money to actually support where they see their vision going.
Oh, interesting insight. What would you think they should ask?
Well, I don't know. I think that, if we're talking about, customers that they may have on the West Coast, for example, where gas is quickly approaching $10 a gallon, then it's going to change the cost for them to ship to that area. And so they've got to be able to anticipate that all costs are going up, including postage.
Interesting. This made me think of something, Dr. Adrian. And Dr. Jeff, you may have some insight on this. Do you see an international market for the product? Oh, absolutely. I mean, shea butter comes from Africa. Right. And so from a tree in Africa. So, African American people or descendants of African people have known about the use of shea butter for a long time. I use plain shea butter every day, but definitely plan to look into some of their products. You can see some partnerships with some African companies. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What about you, Dr. Jeff?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's really a no-brainer for that type of business, because I see that business going internationally. I see it going into the big box stores earlier than 5 years. Target has made it known that they're primarily focusing on the African American small business to represent their products. So that would be something I would be looking in within the next 3 to 6 months. As opposed to 5 years.
Interesting. Joaquin Thompson, our finance man, the finance expert. What you got for us, bro?
Hey, first of all, I would definitely have to say I'm thoroughly impressed with Brigette and her presentation. She was very articulate about the company, very knowledgeable about the company. So I think for me, that was really impressive for her, the way that she was representing her family and the family business. I think the upside is tremendous for this business because holistic care products are huge. The beauty industry itself is a huge market. So I think they have a great upside to their business. A couple of things that I would definitely say I would be concerned about are things that I would say are opportunities for them. One would be just really getting down to that cost of production because
Absolutely.
being an entrepreneur, and when we talk about capital and funding, then when we do get funds, that's one of the areas that, you know, sometimes we can get into trouble. And I'm just speaking from an experience
Absolutely.
from a business that my wife and I own as a family business, and just not knowing that actual cost to produce that, say that one bar. Because then that way, if you know how much it costs, then you can start looking at margins and then, you know, being able to scale.
Absolutely.
Right. So I think, you know, getting to those numbers would be a huge benefit for them, especially as they're growing and getting into retail, because that's going to impact inventory and, you know, cost. And to, you know, Dr. Adrian's point, you know, things like shipping, those are going to be more immediate, but then, you know, future facing, definitely want to know those costs. I think another opportunity too is just looking at, as they expand, what is staffing going to look like, you know, in the future? Because right now the core is the
Labor
family
costs,
business,
right.
but now you got to look at labor costs, because as you expand, we're getting into retail or other areas, then you're going to need to hire staff, you know, from that standpoint. But I think that's, you know, something they can, you know, attribute or look at in the future. But I think the business model is great. I think the product is great. You know, being in that industry, just being in health and beauty is just huge.
I'll pitch this to you as well. Do you see more than 100K?
I did. And I actually wrote that in my notes, because I think where they're going and the success that they've articulated at this point, I think 100,000 for their business is a little low. They should really ask for more, because as an entrepreneur, you always want to ask for more than you need.
Right.
Right? Because if you ask for 100, you'll probably get 50. Right?
Yes.
Or you're going to get 75. So, you know, ask for a bigger number. And I know sometimes as an entrepreneur, you know, we feel like we shouldn't ask for too much, because we're really like, oh, I want to say like, I need $1 million or I need 500,000. But I think in their case, it would definitely be beneficial.
Absolutely. From a finance perspective, you're the finance expert. Do you see any downside that you're concerned about?
I would say no downside that I'm concerned about, as long as they put it on their radar to address it. Because that's the main thing is if you have it on your radar and plans like, hey, we really need to get down to, you know, what is the cost involved, and be able to manipulate the margins, because that's where you get profitability from, is like in margins. So being able to buy in bulk, because she mentioned about buying the shea butter in bulk, being able to buy the ingredients in bulk is going to help them a lot, as opposed to
Keep the unit cost down.
keep the unit cost down and not be, you know, lean more towards the wholesale purchase as opposed to getting into a retail space.
Interesting insight. Wow. And I thought of that. That's why you're on the show.
Let me just say one thing, Doc.
Yes.
You know, because we mentioned 100,000, and I can speak from experience. I've started 3 businesses, and each time I wanted $100,000, and each time I was able to get $100,000, and each time $100,000 did not go far. You think $100,000 will go far, but by the time you talk about marketing and staffing, that $100,000 goes by so quickly.
Yep.
I think I'm out of money. And you're still trying to get ramped up. So you know, I would definitely look at more than $100,000, because
No, consensus, all y'all felt that
it's
way.
not going to go that far.
All right, you heard from the experts. I can't give it to you better than that. All right, this is Angel's Door, and this is the fun part of the show where you get to crowdfund this business, or if you want to invest in a business. We have 4 investment levels. We have $25, $50, $75, $100 or more. And the Cactus Beauty Bar is a great business. You heard from our experts. They gave you their insight. This is a business with nothing but an upside. So we have our 1-800 number flashing. So contribute what you think you would like to. This is a great business. They're starting off. They have a great market. They have a great business model. And so that's what we're looking at here. So I want to thank our experts here that told you about the business. So again, there's a 1-800 number. If you want to invest $25, $50, $75, $100 or more, there's a 1-800 number. Please call in. And again, the business is the Cactus Beauty Bar. Great business, great family-owned business. I don't think you'll be disappointed. All right, there's another show in the wrap. This is Angel's Door. I'm D. Anthony Miles, executive producer and host, and we're glad you joined us today. We had a very interesting business, and please see the 1-800 number, please call, and we will see you next time. This is Angel's Door. Thank you for joining us.